Welcome back to Division 1 Rejects, episode 116. It's August 3rd. No guests on the show tonight, but we've got a long-awaited segment, that being the top 10 mascots in Division 3 football. Kate, I told you earlier, this list was harder than the Division 2 segment.
Mm-hmm.
I think by far and away, I think you saw a couple of them. We were mulling over the list the other night with Trevor, who unfortunately is not here in his place. Gavin, welcome to the studio, my friend. We're excited to have you. Yeah, glad to have you, dude. Very excited. This list that we're going to go over here pretty soon it's going to turn a lot of heads. The number one spot especially. Gavin has not seen any of them. Cade has not seen most of them. There's going to be a lot of genuine reactions. We'll be dropping the full lists on Twitter and Instagram tomorrow, the 4th, so be sure to follow us on both those platforms. Otherwise, though, today, fellas, we got 4 Division II conferences that have announced they're adding instant replay to their football schedules in 2023 this fall, one of them being the GLIACs. We're going to talk a lot about that, and a big-time play that last year, in terms of GLIAC play, would have changed a lot, potentially, allegedly.
For SGV?
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to look at that and some of the implications of instant replay, what that means for Division II conferences across the country. The MIAA was the first conference, to have that instituted last year, but a lot of big things happening there. Otherwise, NFL side of things, alternate uniforms. All of them are out, I believe. There's no, right? I don't think there's any more that we're waiting on. No,
I don't believe so.
All the teasers and everything are done, over with. There's about 10 or 12 or so. We're not going to look at every single one in detail. We're going to go through, kind of pick our best, and just kind of, analyze the details, have a little talk, a little discourse about it. Finally, though, fellas, Eastern Michigan, one that's kind of close to home, not a D1 reject type level football, but a story that is so cool that we have to react to it. I'll give you just the spark notes. They had 85 scholarships given out at Eastern Michigan. There was a walk-on they wanted to give a scholarship. Couldn't do it because 85 is the limit for an FBS level program. One of the kids on scholarship came forward, ended up giving his scholarship away to the walk-on. Wow. One of the most special things I've seen in sports. They've got a great video announcing that, and of the kid actually going up and basically handing him a piece of paper, which I'm sure there ain't shit on the paper, but is the symbolism, right, of handing that over and sacrificing that to someone who he thought deserved it. So we're going to watch that later. Coach Creighton and company, Eastern Michigan. What is their mascot? Speaking of mascots.
Creighton?
Yeah, look, Eastern Michigan, what the hell is their mascot?
Eaglets? Or the...
Eaglets? Are they? There's no way.
Eastern Michigan Eagles? Or...
Are they the Eagles?
Yeah, I think it's the Eagles.
Maybe they should be the Eaglets.
Let's see.
What would it be, like a little egg logo? That'd be great. That might make a top 10 list, though. But we're going to jump into all of that. Remember, if you are watching on YouTube, timestamps, bottom of the video, that little red bar, you can slide forward. Thank you. Slide forward, hop into any part of that conversation, then get the hell out of here. Otherwise, stick around, listen to us schmucks talk about every single one of them. Also, timestamps on Spotify and Apple Podcasts where you can find us and listen to us. Go ahead and check us out on all platforms. Don't forget to subscribe. We were talking about potentially some live shows before kickoff this year. We can't do it until we get to 1,000 subscribers. We need y'all. We need y'all bad. But with all the promo out of the way, fellas, I think we get right into it. The top 10 mascots in Division 3. And taking a look at this graphic right here, just kind of all of them displayed. This is the order that we'll post them onto the social medias. We have got quite the bunch. I mean, there are some characters on this screen who, again, you guys have not seen the rankings in full yet. These are your genuine reactions. Looking at this image, who jumps out as that is number one for sure?
I already know.
Uh-oh. I hit a key and we fast forward to number 10. I guess we're going to 10.
I already know who's number one.
You do?
Well, I have a guess.
Well, you have a guess. That's what I'm asking for. What's your guess?
But I think I know, too, though.
Okay. Well, it could be an educated guess. That's all right.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
The Ice Age looking mammoth.
The Ice Age one?
Mammoth.
Okay, that's a good guess.
Manny.
His name is not Mammy.
Manny.
Oh.
It's like fucking Mammy.
My bad.
Yeah, there's Mammy.
There's Mammy. Mammy's definitely up there. But before we get to Mammy and company, coming in at number 10, Blaze from SUNY Cortland over there in New York, the Red Dragons.
That's dope.
And we had, if you did look at our Division II mascot ranking, you remember Scorch from MSU Moorhead?
That Scorch and then there's that a twin too, right? Like
Scorch and Torch. You're talking about his buddy, his like a big inflatable buddy. And actually, the MSU Moorhead account replied to us.
Yeah, they did.
And they said,
which one are you talking about, Scorch or Torch?
And I was like, are they brothers or cousins? Like, we don't know. And they said, just know they live together. We don't know what the relation is between the two of them.
Just know their family or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But Blaze, also dope ass name. Dope ass mascot. Pretty solid. Not too much to say here. He's like I feel like he's a good blend of scary and like unique and cool.
dope. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not too much of one or the other. So solid 10 spot, but we'll keep moving. Number 9, potential. I could see some potential outbursts from this one because Gus from Gustavus Adolphus, the Lions, he's pretty spectacular. I could see some people wanting him to be a little bit higher. I think it's warranted on the list, but what do you think?
I mean, without seeing the other ones, I would say that the Scissors be like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But this thing's sick. Like,
He's
that's
pretty
dope.
dope.
No, I agree.
So his name's not Gustavus Adolphus Lion.
That's the school. The school is Gustavus Adolphus.
So it's his name is Gus.
That's what it says on the graph.
Okay, I didn't see that over there.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, his name is Gus. He's Gus the Lion. It's an interesting lion name.
I agree with
that
the
is
9
weird.
spot.
Like,
You agree with the 9? He hasn't seen the rest, but you agree with the 9.
Yeah. He looks like he looks like the emoji were just
That's pretty good.
He looks
To me, he looks like someone tried to draw Simba from memory.
like a 5-year-old.
That's a dig. That is a dig. Damn.
he's all right though.
He's good. He's solid. It's a solid look. Solid look for them. Number 8, we've got Lobo from John Carroll. Now, John Carroll
is sick.
is the Blue Streaks, but their mascot is technically Lobo is a wolf. So I'm not exactly sure. I've looked online. No one seems to really be able to explain what exactly a blue streak is. Now, John Carroll, really solid football program out of the OAC. We talked about them quite a bit on this particular show, even though that conference has been dominated by Mount Union in recent history. They're going to have a big year this year, and we hope that Lobo is on the sidelines for all of those
that's dope.
big moments. He's
Doesn't
pretty
look
sick.
like a wolf though.
You don't think so? What do you think he looks like?
I don't know. He looks like a seal combined with like something else. Doesn't he kind of look like it's like
It's like
I don't
a pit
know.
bull.
What, seal and pit?
I don't know what that thing is, to be quite frank.
Yeah,
He's a blue streak, guys. All right? I mean, he's a blue streak, obviously. Lobo's badass, though. I cropped it out so he kind of looks like he's hanging on the rim. Oh, you can see the ladder, actually. Never mind. I didn't do as good of a crop job as I thought. He's cheating. Still pretty sick, though. Someone please let us know the textbook definition of a blue streak because I could not find it, and I could not tell you at all what that means. Number 7, one a little bit closer to home, Cade.
Oh yeah.
Both of you guys, shoot. Scotty.
It's like Dan
From
Campbell.
Alma College. He kind of is a Dan Campbell-esque. If Dan Campbell had the recessive ginger gene,
Yeah,
then potentially that could be Dan.
definitely a Dan Campbell-ness.
We had Coach Couch, the head coach from Alma, on the show not too far back. Coach Couch, hell of a football guy. And he wears that kilt exactly the same, Gavin. I know you weren't here for that conversation, obviously. Their head coach wears a kilt on game day on the sideline.
Yeah, that's electric.
Awesome. So awesome. So Scotty definitely had to make his way out of this list. I think a big part of every mascot is just the head, right? Like the headpiece is like a huge piece of it. When you rock a stash like that.
Where are you gonna find when you're gonna find one of these guys at?
Great question.
I mean,
You'd be surprised. There were a couple who had a similar look to Scotty, but we ended up going
more
with
like
Scotty.
lumberjack-esque.
Yeah, a little bit. Now Scotty obviously a little bit different. He's a little more unique in his own right. So shout out the Alma Mascots.
Right.
Potentially, you look at that league, the MIAA, the D3 MIAA, with Albion losing their head coach, Coach Bureau, to Northwood, and a lot of transfers and things. Alma is in a position to run that conference this year and make another run. They make it to the second round of the playoffs last year. We'll see, depending on the pieces they have coming back, coaching staff all in touch, that could be a big run for them down in lower Michigan. So excited to see what the Scots do this year. Also going to play in Scotland, I believe.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so that's a really exciting piece for them. Number 6, boys. Now I think you'll start to see, we stepped the game up a little bit. Obji the Bear, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is the mascot for the Coast Guard Academy.
Whoa.
He is sick. This is probably my favorite graphic that I made
They got
out
football?
of all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Division III football.
That's
Pretty
dope.
badass.
He's got bro.
Why does he have a 6-pack?
This dude is yoked. Dude, he's like if Yogi went to the gym.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous, dude.
It is.
Yogi stopped stealing picnic baskets, started picking up the barbell.
He's like kind of scary too, though.
This
The
is
thing.
dope.
He's intimidating, but it's like, can I say endearing? Like endearingly intimidating? He's sick. I don't know why they felt the need to give him like a real 6-pack, but I guess I'm not mad about it. Like he looks awesome, and the whole suit. I think what's cool about this one is it's just the whole suit. Like he's butt ass naked. There's nothing. There's no kilt, no nothing.
Yeah, that's a bear is.
He's just a bear. Like he's a real bear. think that's dope. Shout out to Coast Guard. They got a brand new logo, guys, by the way. They just unveiled those. Their old one was...
I like that one.
That's pretty clean.
Yeah, that's clean.
Really clean. So, yeah, shout out to OBJ. I hope I'm pronouncing that one right. That's a pretty sick mascot, guys. Number 6. Number 5, we got Buzzy the Buzzard from Denison. Now, Denison used to go, or I believe still goes by the Big Red. That used to be a Native American type of deal. Now, obviously, they have kind of gotten rid of that. Their mascot now, I was doing a little bit of reading. It's about these birds that usually come by campus, these red buzzards and vultures. So they end up adopting this as their mascot. He looks straight out of a cartoon book. But if you turn the lights off, I think he would be a great star in some type of horror film.
So the Denison Buzzards?
No, they're the Denison Big Red.
Oh, I thought you said they're...
I just said they go by the Big Red, but they got rid of the mask because it was a Native American type deal. So they're still the Big Red, but their mascot is the buzzard. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think in the right situation, he would be terrifying.
Yeah, this is like a super unique one.
That could be nightmare
I don't know why the beak is like 15 feet long, but
Yeah, it's got to be...
it's a little...
It's got to be out of proportion. There's no way.
it's like a Flintstone like bird, dude.
Can we talk about like ease or like difficulty of wearing said costume too? Like moving your neck around and like having whiplash from the actual
He
beak.
might take someone out, dude.
Well, he's tall too. I don't have him actually in proportion to a lot of other people, but like there were some pictures of him standing next to other mascots and he towers over all of them. It's absurd.
Does he?
Like he's really large. So I mean, he's large, but also like the person wearing the costume has to like must fit some criteria, right?
You have to be like 6'7".
Can you imagine like because they do mascot tryouts? We do them here at Northern for Willie, and like you show up to the door. If you are not 6'5", you get turned around immediately. It'd be like that sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Could be.
Some type of discrimination. Let us know, Big Red. But shout out to Buzzy, sick mascot. Number 4, one of my personal favorites, fella, Arnie from UMass Dartmouth, the Corsairs. He is so sick. And for something like as far as like a pirate, Corsair, what do you want to say? They could have, been pretty simple. I just think this look is so well done. The blue, the yellow, even the detail, like the white
Great
patch in his
color combo.
beard. Really just a clean mascot all the way through. Again, another great full outfit. Like not just a headpiece and the rest was neglected.
I'm out with this heavily. This is a good one.
Yeah. And that I sound like a freaking mascot critic. Like I don't really know anything about this. I just look at them and pick what looks cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Arnie is badass. I can absolutely confirm that Arnie is he's a football guy. Absolute football guy. By the way, running down bleachers like that is asking for a knee injury. T's and P's to Arnie's person. I hope he's okay.
These.
Because you ever tried that? It's not
Running
easy.
down the
Running down
mascot?
bleachers.
Running down a mascot uniform down bleachers?
I'm just talking bleachers in general, right? Like running up is one thing, but running down?
Yeah, I mean, I've ran a couple bleachers in my life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not easy. Like, it's like really awkward. It's like running down a hill. You know what I mean? There's no right way to do it. But anyways, Arnie's on number 4, fellas. Ready for the top 3.
Yeah. Let's get it.
I think this can be a controversial one. Number 3, though, because of the uniqueness, you got to go with the Green Terror from McDaniel College. I mean, as far as mascot costumes go, he's not trying to do too much.
The Green Terror.
The Green Terror. That's the only name I could find for him. And that's what they are. From McDaniel College, the Green Terrors. And like I said, I'll defend my pick because, as far as mascots go, you could say lizard, dragon, I don't know, some type of reptile, but he's a Green Terror.
Yeah, he's perfect.
I think it's awesome. I think it fits. It's very like, again, they're not trying to do too much. I think he's awesome.
Yeah,
I think he solidifies himself. Now, going back on this, you haven't seen the top 2, but now we were talking about the Lion and some of those guys later. Has it been warranted so far, or what are we thinking?
I think I would put this guy lower.
You think so?
I wish they did more with like the body.
Because of the simplicity of
He's
it.
wearing like t-shirts.
Yes, I could not find pictures of
What's
him,
going on there?
for lack of a better term, naked. I could not find any pictures of him. He always is repping some type of shirt. That's what I really liked about the bear, which maybe I should have put him a little bit higher because he just embraced it.
Let it all hang.
Yeah, he did. Shout out to him. But fellas, number 2 on our list, I love this guy. This guy is awesome. And this guy is Magnus from Muskingum. He's the fighting muskie.
That's sick.
I had this guy at 2 before I even realized he had a tail.
He's a tail?
Look at that picture. Bottom left.
Oh, that's dope.
Riding on the cart, he's got a tail as a part of the costume. He's been confused multiple times. The university has had to come out and reinforce the fact that he's a muskie because, yes, people have thought he was a shark, in fact, and not another type of fish.
I thought he was a shark.
He's a muskie.
That's really cool. That's probably my favorite, honestly.
Just wait till you see number 1. How about that?
Well, I know what number 1 is.
Well, now you do because we've gone through everyone else. This is your favorite though so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's just solid. He's the headpiece on him is so sweet. Now I'm wondering, where do they see out of this mask? It's got to be the mouth right
Yeah,
there, right?
has
There's
to
got to be
be.
some like transparent stuff.
Has to be.
Yeah. Interesting.
You
But
got the webbed hands.
he does. That's a good detail. That's why that's the type of stuff that'll earn you a number 2 spot right there. That'll earn you a number 2 spot with the tail. The tail for me did it too. That solidified it. Finally, fellas, our number 1 mascot in all of Division III, potentially in the NCAA. It's Tor from Wheaton College, the Thunder. His full name is a little bit harder to pronounce. He goes by Tor. And this guy, I mean, the first thing that jumps out to you, right?
How?
What are the logistics here?
2 people. It's a 2-person costume, boys.
No way.
It is. I have confirmed it is a 2-person costume. Tor is not a solo act.
That's unreal.
How does that even, dude? That's a masterful coordination.
So the first person obviously sees out of that slit between the eyes. You can kind of see where it looks like
Yeah.
they took a little like razor to his forehead. But what does the back person see? The person in front of them's behind.
I mean, he gets his goes with what's going on. He has no idea. So hopefully,
Does he have a sunroof?
hopefully he comes out at the end of it.
What do they even say?
I don't even,
What?
dude. Okay, so like being inside of a mascot suit in general, hot, sweaty, sticky, just uncomfortable, with another human in there inside of a woolly mammoth.
Dude. No.
Crazy,
This is wild.
crazy. But like, again, where the uniqueness factor is a huge part of this. Nobody else could potentially be number 1. I've never seen a tandem mascot suit like this in my life.
Do they have a hockey team?
That's a great question.
How would that work?
I can find out. Like him going on the ice.
How are you going to go on the ice? You're not going to. You can't.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Supposedly. Oh, this is Wheaton College though. Sorry, no, this is Wheaton College. Not Wheaton. I believe this is Wheaton University. It does not look like Wheaton University has hockey. I was looking at Wheaton College. Or is there Wheaton University? I think it's Wheaton University.
Wheaton College Thunder.
Oh no, wait, it is Wheaton College. So never
Yeah.
mind. I'm bad on that. My bad. Yeah, they've got ice hockey.
Dude.
They play Olivet, Purdue Northwest, Northwestern, Drake. So it might be a club team, looks like. Yeah, it's a club team. But we do need to see if Tor has made his way out into the ice.
Yeah, that'd be
I need to
unreal.
see some of that.
That would be like, you ever see that video? It was Minnesota. They're doing the car commercial, Reed Cade on the ice, and that mascot keeps falling over and over and over again. They have to do all those takes. Neither of you guys have seen that?
No.
It
Oh
is a
yeah, I
great
have.
video.
I have seen
He's
it.
like a polar bear or something, isn't he?
Yeah, I've seen that.
And the guy delivers the line every time, and he just
Falls over yeah.
on the ice every time. I felt terrible for dude. I felt awful. But that's our number 1 pick. That's our top 10. This will be fun to put out on the socials, of course. There'll be a bunch of people who are offended, but I appreciate everyone for all their inputs on Instagram and Twitter and all the other socials. But with that being said, fellas, we can move on from that. We can talk a little bit about the Division II scene, move up a level, and that being about the instant replay that is being added to 4 Division II conferences this year. We alluded to it at the beginning of the episode. The MIAA was the first conference in Division II to institute instant replay capabilities last year in the fall of 2022. And now we have the GLIAC, the Lone Star Conference, the Gulf South, and the RMAC, the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, all instituting this. And that comes, at least, this was announced at most of the media days with the respective conferences, but I wanted to give a shout out to Chuck Bittner from D2 Football, because that is where I got that news immediately. Chuck does a good job, and that whole team does a good job of following up on all that stuff, because let's face it, I was not sitting there watching every Division II conference media day. I know you guys definitely were not glued to the TVs for the other ones, but Chuck was. Thank you, Chuck. Moving forward, though, I told you guys we're going to take a look at a play that potentially had some big implications, because we talk a lot of GLIAC football on here, right? Ferris, they lose to GV and I'm going to mute this here so we don't have I don't want to have the audio on it. But they lose to GV in the regular season, that giving GV the GLIAC championship. Now they meet again in the playoffs, in the quarterfinals. And a play that a lot of people remember from that game is a run from quarterback Malik Mitchell, where he comes towards the end zone and the ball is jostled kind of out of his reach, appearingly as he crosses the goal line. Now, people there, most of them would say that actually this thing came out before he crosses the goal line. I bring this up because you think in a situation like this, what does instant replay do? This is the play. Have either of you guys ever seen this?
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
we're watching the game.
Oh, okay. Probably not from this angle, though. So here's Mitchell, steps up, carrying that thing like a loaf of bread, first of all. Can we get a little high and tight? Because that's pretty bad. Like, you're asking for the ball to get punched out at this point. But, anyways, go forward. And you can see that. Diving over. I'm going to try and get to the frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get to the frame where we can get a better kind of look at this. But you can see as he dives over the goal line, that ball is obviously loose. It's going to be hard. Right here, the hit happens. So you're about on the 1 yard line, right? Depending on the angle. You're about on the 1 yard line where that hit happens. And I mean, it wants to double click and take me out of full screen. It's just, you know what I mean? It's so bang bang. Like, it's very hard to tell. But you can see that, man. I'll play it one more time just in full speed for you. The ruling on the field was a touchdown. And obviously that can't be overturned because we don't have replay. That ended up being a pretty big piece of the game that tied the game up at 14 for Ferris. You can see a little bit of a scramble, and it's worth noting, a GV player falls on the ball in the end zone after the play. So if that ruling is overturned, you think, you would play it from the live ball potentially?
I mean, this is the thing with this play. Like, it was ruled a touchdown on the field, so there'd have to be indisputable evidence for them to return it. And, like, to be real,
overturn
they don't have, like, they don't got end zone cams. You know what I
That's a
mean?
great point.
They don't have, like, it's not going to be like your casual NFL Sunday. Right? It's not going to be
you
like
don't
that.
You don't have Dean Blandino up in the box, which
gonna
actually, didn't the GMAC bring on, is it Dean Blandino? Did it be their head of officiating? I'm pretty
No.
sure it was, I forget. No, it was Gene Steratore, I think.
Yeah.
Gene Steratore, that's who it was. Anyways, but that's a really good point because, like you said, you can't go down and reference a pylon cam, a referee cam. You don't have all these different options. You have, like, this wouldn't even count because this is a freelance video person or someone shooting for Ferris State that's just sitting by the goal line. You couldn't even reference this type of video in that type
That's
of
what I'm saying.
circumstance.
They'd have to be like, and I guarantee this would happen if they did have replay. After the review, there was no indisputable evidence of the ball carrier fumbled the ball prior to the goal line. The review, the player on the field is
Stands.
Stand,
Touchdown.
Yeah, what will that even look like? Are they just going to use the footage that's up top? Like,
So it's going to depend on the venue, obviously.
Yeah,
And
we
I've been
gotta
working
test
with,
that.
up here at Northern, I've been working with the man who handles our live broadcast because he's going to be in charge of helping to institute that. And for most schools, what it will be is just cutting into the actual live stream, like the broadcast production of the game. So whatever you're watching from home online or whatever on TV, whatever it is, like whatever you're seeing is probably going to be what the refs are seeing down in the sideline. It's not going to be very different.
Well, yeah, they can't. They can't. They don't have the budget for that. Like, that's not what it's.
Now,
And
we
another
do.
thing is it's not all for just like fumbles, interceptions. Yeah, it's like that's what it's mainly for. But like, you've seen in the NFL with the concussion stuff lately, like with
A lot of it's about player safety. I got a
Yeah.
good stat for you, actually, Cade. So the MIAA was the first conference to institute this last year. There were 9 targeting calls last year in the MIAA.
They were all reversed.
6 of the 9 were overturned by instant replay.
Yeah,
I mean, that is like game-changing type of
for sure.
decisions.
No.
Because you talk about a kid, first of all, player safety should be at the forefront of all these decisions. But then you talk about 6 kids who otherwise would have been ejected from that game and potentially missed the next, correct?
Half.
Well, depending on when it happened, right?
Yeah,
if it's
so,
the
like,
if it was the first half of the game, then they only miss half. But if it was the second half, I think they missed the whole next game. I'm pretty sure that's the ruling on that.
I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that's like a defender's best friend is overruling on a targeting
Call, yeah. Just because of the large implications that has. That's big. Now, some other details with the GLIAC here. They're working with a company called Sky Coach to assist in replay review. And Chris Dunbar, the commissioner, had said that there's definitely going to be some growing pains learning how to incorporate this. Over under on the first replay we see this GLIAC season, how many minutes it takes to actually come back with a concrete call.
it's going to be gross. It's going to be trials and tribulations, dude.
Yeah. What sucks, I'm just worried about that because, like, is this going to be something that's going to extend a game potentially if you have a review and it takes 15 minutes to review a call?
With the NFL, they have cameras everywhere, and it takes them forever.
Yeah. Which that could be a benefit because
No
now
one's ever
you
happy
only
though, bro. That's the thing. No
Yeah.
one's ever happy. No one's
No.
ever gonna be not everyone's always gonna be happy.
There's gonna be somebody from the bleachers losing their shit.
Yeah,
That's a
regardless.
given. That's a
Regardless,
given.
yeah.
I will say though, at a school like at Northern Michigan here, we have ground level broadcast cameras on both end zones. So that could be pretty key as far as like helping to, make sure those
Definitely,
calls are correct. I don't think a lot of venues have that though. They just have the ones up in like the press box level. And the refs are going to have better angles than that 9 times out of 10. But to your point of like they don't have all the cameras, could that work in their favor when it comes to a time allotment? Because you're literally looking at one clip, and if you can't tell from the one clip, call,
That's a good
stays as
point.
stands, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to, all right, let's take camera number 5, compare it to camera number 4 and 3, but on camera number 7, get a little bit of a different shot. It really is crazy. Like, you never realize the production quality of the NFL broadcast until they have to review a touchdown call. I think that's the one time you see it and you're like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
it's unreal.
They have a camera up a player's ass heading over the goal line. No laugh out of Cade in that one. I was kind of surprised.
Sorry, I was reading stats. But
I'm like, I thought that was kind of funny.
it is unreal how many views they have. Like, it's actually really absurd.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got you talk about the sky cam, right? Like the cable cam going over.
Yeah.
You've got your pylons. You even have sometimes referee type stuff. You've got, all the different broadcast angles, the goal line. I mean, literally everything, dude. It's impressive. Like, it actually is really impressive. But we can move on, fellas. I say we save NFL uniforms for last. I want to show you guys this video from Eastern Michigan if you're game for it.
Let's
Is that
do
cool?
it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I need to get the volume up for this one though, because you guys got to listen to this one. This is a really good clip. Now, I talked about this earlier. Eastern Michigan, 85 scholarships are allowed at the FBS level. They had a walk-on that Coach Creighton over there, the head guy. He wanted to give a scholarship to this kid, but he's at his max. So what can you do? Nothing, really, or so we thought. There's a player at Eastern Michigan came forward, decided he might do something for this walk-on. We'll watch this video, and then after we watch this, fellas, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But this is probably one of the coolest stories we've seen in college football. You guys have seen a lot of walk-ons earn scholarships. I don't know if you've ever seen a walk-on earn a scholarship in this way before.
Conti has had to pay his way to school for 4 years. And in the fall, the guy was selling his plasma to be able to pay the bills. We're at 85 scholarships. We have 85 given out. And no matter how many times or how many years I go to the NCAA and say, yeah, but man, I'm just telling you, we need 86. We need 86. Can there any way, that we can have an exception for this deal? The answer is no. You have 85. Until Brian Dooley comes into my office and he said, Coach, that guy has earned it. And I've talked this over with my family and the whole bit. And if there's a way to make this happen, I am willing to give up my scholarship and to give it to Zach Hunt. I've never heard, I've never seen anything like that ever before. Where are you, Dooley?
Hey. Yeah, see?
He didn't even know what to do. He couldn't even comprehend it, man.
Give me a chill. That's so dope.
Like, when I tell you, man,
I love that kind of stuff.
that is one of the coolest things that I've seen in college football. And like I said, we've been, blessed over the years that the walk-on getting the scholarship is one of the best genres of video
sure.
the internet has ever been graced with.
Yep.
Right? Because you know about the stuff that those guys go through when they come to a program like that. A guy like this who has been there for 3-4 years without any money to show for it, especially football, the tolls other athletes go through so much as well, but football, especially the physical tolls that you go through.
Nothing like it.
Just said he was selling plasma to a Ford school in the fall. Have you guys sold plasma before?
No, I don't plan on it.
Cannot say I participated.
And I cannot say I would recommend it. That shit sucks.
Yeah, don't they put like an IV in you and stuff? Oh, dude, I don't mess with those.
Only reason I did it is I had COVID, so taking my antibodies.
Yeah.
So they paid me extra.
Yeah,
but man,
Uh,
the people who are doing that are either, I don't even know. You gotta be pretty desperate to be doing that, or you're just a very kind, generous soul, and you really just want to help someone. Which in that case, good on you. But this kid, maybe he sounds like he might be a little bit of both.
Yep.
I've never seen it where a player gives up their scholarship for someone else.
Absolutely
dope.
not.
I've never seen that.
No, I've never seen that either.
Absolutely not. And I love this this point in the video here where he calls him out, right? Like, where are you? Like, where are you? Let me see. I'll fast forward to it. Here he is. And then he stands up, and I just love, like, just like very casually, just give it a little wave. Hey guys, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like, how do you even, he probably didn't even know how to act in this situation. Like, these guys probably don't even, like, it's nothing for him. Walks over and hands them, like I said in the beginning, on the piece of paper is probably nothing, but it's
symbolism.
to him it's the symbolism, right? To him, that means the world. Mm-hmm. So sweet. Could have got a better reaction out of the players, though, I won't lie. I feel like the players could have given maybe a little better reaction on that. I would be losing my shit if that happened in our locker room. That'd be insane. You know what I mean?
That'd be dope.
But either way, I've got some more details here for the people listening / watching. We'll talk about it a little more. But again, just such a sweet piece there. So
It's hot as shit down here, man.
It is warm. I turned your fan on over there for you. Good talk. So that was actually right after their first day of fall camp too. Damn. So really cool way to start off camp and like keep the energy high. Now, would it have been smarter maybe to do that on camp day like 6, 7, where the energy was starting to get low and then the team needs a little pick-me-up? Maybe. Yeah. But at that point, just give the kid a scholarship and get going. You know what I mean? There's no time on that. But very, very cool. Zach Conte, he's from Trenton, Michigan. He had no idea this was going on. That is the walk-on. Head coach Chris Creighton gave that speech. And Conte's been there for 4 years. He's played in a combined 23 games throughout 21 and 22. And obviously not been on a scholarship. He talked all about that. The kid who gave him the scholarship, Dooley called him, Brian Dooley. Now, he was a transfer from Bowling Green, and he was at St. John's Jesuit. He was the one who approached Coach Creighton with the proposition, and he's the one that told him that, hey, this guy's earned it, and I'd like to give him my scholarship, which was really neat. When asked about why he did it, he said, I did it because I've seen Conte grow over the years. Seeing him walk away from something that he loves did not sit well with me. He works hard and gets extra work with me all the time. So it must be like same position type group, which is probably a big reason why this is the case. In my eyes, he earned it 100%. He said, giving up my scholarship so he can stay and play means everything. I'm proud of what he's become and cannot wait to see what he does in the field. So it sounds like if this kid wasn't going to get a scholarship, he was going to be done. He wasn't going to be playing football at Eastern Michigan anymore, right? Yeah. Is that kind of the vibe from that? Mm-hmm. That's really sweet. Yeah. As far as Eastern Michigan goes, I mean, they've been kind of in the down the last couple of years, haven't they? Kind of struggled in the MAC.
They have not been very competitive.
Not that I can remember. But last piece for us, fellas. We got some NFL uniforms.
Hell yeah.
To take a look at. And this tweet just gives them all in a nice, easy look at fashion from NFL Fashion Advice. We've got all the uniforms up here. We've seen all of them. I mean, Carolina, Minnesota, you got the Bucks up there, Titans, Jets. Who is that far upper right?
The Falcons?
Is it the Falcons?
49ers?
I think that's the 49ers. Lions, Browns, Eagles, Seahawks, Broncos, and finally the Colts.
Oh, that's the Cardinal. Or that's the
I can't even tell who that is in the picture. It might be the Cardinal.
Look at the helmet.
I think it's Cardinals.
I think it is.
It is the Cardinals. That's the Cardinal on the helmet.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
That's James Conner, bro.
It is James Conner. That's right. I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even tell from the picture, bro. It's too little.
See what color jersey is.
It is James Conner for sure, actually. That's funny. But these are all the jerseys that were released. We've talked about a couple of them individually on the show, but off the bat, let's start with the worst. What do we think the worst is? I think I know what my pick would be, but let me hear from you guys first.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a Lions fan, but...
Lions the worst? The worst?
Dude, I can't stand the helmet. I really can't. It's too, like... It's not the Lions blue to me almost.
I think the Jets is dumb.
I would say Vikings.
I think the Colts
I would
is,
say Vikings.
I mean, the Colts and the Vikings is.
Oh, wait. Colts. Hold on.
Eagles are the best. Seahawks second best.
Yep. I got a couple
Titans
of them
third best. Browns fourth best.
That's so funny. So I pulled up my top 3. It was in no order. Eagles, Seahawks, and Titans were my top 3.
Really?
Yes.
And then Browns and.
Browns would have been probably one of the first ones out there. Yeah, absolutely. So you guys were not. I don't think you were on. I think it was just me and Trevor. We looked at the Seahawks, their launch for their uniforms.
It's fire.
Because, not only was it just like photo and video content, guys, they had this whole thing rolled out. They had a whole retro website.
Damn.
Like fully 90s, all like website.
Oh, that's dope.
It's incredible. We already looked at it on this show, so go back and definitely watch that one, find that one. But it was seriously incredible. They went all out for it. And they made this whole website based around like a 90s aesthetic. And it was one of the coolest things I've seen in like sports marketing in a long time. But we can start, when we're talking about the Seahawks, we can start with them and talk about their piece a little bit. And I think the gray is what does it for me for the Seahawks, because it's just different enough to make it so unique, but it still seems so on brand. And I think that very unique balance is what makes this such a great uniform.
Super sick. Just the color combo, the helmets, the old school look.
Just clean, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
all around. Dude, DK is gonna look like a fucking mega god in that fucking uniform.
What even can I ask what that is
What
or
is-
no?
I mean, I don't know, but you're about to find out when he puts that uniform on.
That's pretty good. I love those uniforms though. They're awesome. And then we talked about the Titans being one of the next top ones, and who else than Derrick Henry to be
I
modeling
don't understand
these ones.
this though.
I think
Like
that's
this
my
isn't.
favorite.
It's not. It was never the like. It was the Houston Oilers. Like so, it was never.
The franchise moved.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like I just don't understand really that.
I think it's
Like it was never in Tennessee.
Yeah, no, I get that part, and
Like
a lot of people were mad
Houston
about that.
Houston, they were literally never named Houston. Obviously, going into Tennessee, like it was a whole.
Well, yeah. Obviously.
So like, I don't understand. I the jerseys are sick. Don't get me wrong. I don't give a shit. But like, I really don't understand why they picked those.
I don't give a shit. And it continues to rip to rip
I'm
on
just
it.
saying, like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, I
Like,
totally
from a
get it.
logistical point of view.
Yeah, and a lot of people had said like Houston, like the Oilers need to stay in Houston. Like they were like, there's a little bit of uproar about that. They didn't like that with the Texans obviously being there. But I mean, that technically is the franchise that the Oilers were, correct? And they moved out. So, excuse me, but there is definitely a tie in there. I think there's
But
a
like,
legitimate tie in.
there's not a tie back to the city of Tennessee. It's not a tie back to the city, like the fans of Tennessee. Like, it's not a.
You know what I was actually kind of mad about with this jersey, the release? Their teaser, if you guys remember, was a video of a jersey laying down, and they were dumping like black paint on it.
I saw that.
You did see that? And
That
what did
makes-
you think when you saw that?
That's me a black jersey.
There's going to be a black jersey.
Why would they do that?
Because it's black paint.
Doesn't make sense.
It was oil for the Oilers. And I'm like, never in a million years would I have thought that. Because like you said, Cade, they're not in Houston. Now, I know, again, the franchise, I understand that piece. But when you look at that and it's black paint, what are you supposed to think?
Someone's
It's
thinking
just
too hard.
like, come on.
I was waiting for the Titans' black uniforms. I was pretty excited for them, too. I'm not going to lie. Because you know how they have that accent red with a little bit of like that light blue?
Yeah.
That black uniform would go really hard, like a nightmare Titan
But they already
uniform.
do basically that dark blue.
Yes, but like totally embracing that black. Like black helmet would be like, you know what I mean? Like a whole black uniform.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Because I feel like the Titans logo would go really well on a black helmet,
That'd be sick.
right?
Yeah.
College Football Network just invited me to join their.
Channel, and that's a new kind of a
Yeah.
new thing on Instagram. Yeah, they're interesting. I don't really know how that works, but okay. Last one for us, fellas. This one had people waiting outside of the stadium at 4 a.m. just trying to get a jersey. Most of them trying to get the guy in the middle there, Jalen Hurts. These Eagles uniforms, not trying to do too much. The simplistic side of things. I think it's just the actual color. The color they absolutely nailed. And also the launch, right? We talk about the launch. Some of the pictures they've uploaded of these jerseys. I think they knocked it out of the park. So sick.
They did a great job. Like this is the thing though. They literally couldn't have missed with these.
Agreed. The mean greens, that what they're calling
they
them,
could
right?
not have missed with them. Kelly Green.
Kelly Green. Yes, you're right. Kelly Green throwbacks. Like when you look at, here we go, guys. You look at a picture like this. Sorry for the resolution. That's shitty.
Lots of pixels.
Yeah, it is. But like they staged this whole thing up. They painted those walls the Kelly green. Just for this photo shoot, they got multiple helmets up in there. They decked out the lockers. I mean, they do so much. I feel like the dedication to these is what like really makes it stand out and what makes it really unique. This also, guys, is probably one of the hardest pictures I've seen. I don't know why all the shit is just opening up pixelated today. There we go. It's a little better. That might be one of the hardest pictures I've ever seen come out of an NFL team.
So sweet.
The lighting, the backdrop, the way the wings kind of come out of his head like that.
That's sick.
So badass. Like, it's got me thinking about how we can emulate that at the D2 level. Like, what can we do like this? And the answer is probably nothing. I mean, what the hell are we supposed to do? You're thinking too.
No, I was thinking of Denton's calling me. I'm gonna put him on the spot on the D1 Rejects podcast.
Do it. We're about done, so do it.
Hunter Denton. What? You're on live on D1 Rejects podcast. Who's winning the NFC North next year?
Lions.
All right, there you go. Hunter Denton. NFC
answer.
North.
That's our NFC North insider, Hunter Denton.
Yeah. I'll call you in a sec, Dent.
Wait, go back to the
What you got?
whole thing, like all the jerseys.
Yep.
I want to see. Okay, so I revoke my statement. That was out of pocket. I think the Colts is
The worst.
favorite. Yeah.
Really?
I
didn't like the Colts, to the record. I did not like the Colts jerseys.
No.
I kind of like them. I mean, I don't like the Bucks because it's just like I hate the Bucks.
You just hate Tom Brady.
Yeah, and
I love
then
the
So
The
by
Colts.
proxy, you hate
like the Colts. It's all right. Like
Yeah, I don't really like the black.
like might as well go
helmet.
down to Rochester High and see what unis they got, Kobe, and like
Literally.
just take it out of their closet.
Literally.
Yeah.
There's a better look at those Colts uniforms for
I mean,
you
that
guys
looks a little
right
better.
there. It does look a little better there, but to me it was just like, hey, what did that Bingham Young school do for their uniforms the other year?
Yeah.
You know what I
I've
mean?
never been a fan of black and blue. Like,
No.
you know how Lions fans want to bring back the black jerseys?
Yeah. Now with that, it's a little different because it's the vintage retro appeal,
Yeah.
right?
Bro,
It's the nostalgic
black
appeal.
Lions jersey,
Yeah.
bro, would go so stupid.
Yeah, but I think, but the only, I think you can agree, the only reason it would do that is because of the retro appeal. The jersey itself, by today's standards,
Yeah, but it's like everything comes, all fashion senses come back.
exactly.
Everything comes back.
I'm totally agreeing with you. Yeah,
That's why it's like, that's why it'd be cool.
my biggest gripe with this, Gavin, actually was that look at the black helmet, and outside of the black arm sleeve, I don't know if there's any black accent. Oh, you have the little neck collar.
Yeah.
There's no black accent anywhere on this jersey that would tie in that helmet.
No, it doesn't really.
Doesn't make any sense. This would
Like,
look so
would a
much
white
better with
helmet
their
look
white
better?
helmet. Yeah, absolutely. Because you have white stripes, white numbers, not even a black outline on the numbers. White gloves. Throw black gloves and cleats on. That's like when we were looking at those Wayne State uniforms.
Yeah.
You remember that? And the dude had he had white gloves on, didn't he? And
Yeah.
It did not look right.
I don't know.
This is what it is. That's all for this episode, Division I Rejects. Tune in early next week. We'll have a pretty exciting guest joining the show, so be ready for that one. Otherwise, catch us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We got a couple T-shirt giveaways going on the socials. Probably announcing that tomorrow-ish. Stay tuned for that. But thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a good episode. Appreciate you guys.